Where's my love? Lily. There she is.
Hi there, Lily, my love. Hi, Lily. I love you, Lily.
Meet Timbox, a man so obsessed with cartoons that he once threatened to assault the director's wife, all because his favorite cartoon character died in a show. Tim's love for 2D characters gets weirder the more you look into it. He confessed to have wet dreams about Pebble and the Penguin, and even had a crush on the snake from Kung Fu Panda. It's important to mention that he's 21 years old, by the way. But what really made Tim's online presence creepy was his obsession with underage cartoon characters. Most notably, Lily from Dexter's Lab, who he wanted to marry and even made a whole movie about her. Whenever people called him out for being a PDF file or a degenerate, Tim would completely crash out, sending death threats or being straight up racist and homophobic. Today we're gonna have a look at the story of Timothy Robert Mackenzie, one of the most disturbing and delusional lolcows on the internet, better known as Timbox. Timothy was born on the May of 1991 in Baltimore and was diagnosed with Asperger's when he was just a little kid. Because of this, he would develop a very quiet personality and would spend a lot of time home watching TV. And that will later explain his insane obsession with characters from Cartoon Network shows like the Powerpuff Girls, Samurai Jack, or love of his life, Lily from Dexter's Lab. An underage 2D character who really stole Timothy's heart. This was his wifey, you know? And Timothy did in fact post some very disturbing things about her online. He also became kinda racist, but we'll talk about that a little later. Due to his autism and parents taking way too much care of him basically, he didn't really develop any social skills and he didn't make any friends in school, which only made matters worse. He wasn't able to talk at all until he was like 7 years old, and due to his condition, he was able to finish school only when he was 21. We don't really know much about his school life. The only info we have is from the man himself, from his own autobiography that he later deleted, sadly. We know that he really didn't like studying, instead he was actively trying to impress girls, and he only liked Asian girls. Probably because all his childhood he was watching Lily from Dexter's Lab 24/7. He tried to flirt by stalking them and showing them his knowledge about dinosaurs. He is also hyperfixated on those as well.
Ready, you guys? 1, 2, and 1, and 2, and 1, 2, 3. Okay. Well, Susan, I've been watching Dexter's Laboratory and the Powerpuff Girls and Cartoon Network and everyone for 10 years, and I've been hitting it with my family for 18. Know what I'm saying, Susan? I love Dexter's Laboratory and the Powerpuff Girls, alright?
21 years old Timbox liked dinosaurs, cartoons, and Asian girls. Might be a little weird, but we gotta understand that due to his autism, he really had a rough time growing up, so those obsessions are kinda understandable. I don't know why exactly that happened, but Timbox thought he's a god or something. He thought if Albert Einstein or Nikola Tesla had autism and were super successful, then how come he cannot date Stacy that we saw in the video? So some awkward flirting soon transitioned to low-key sexual harassment, and that ended up in everyone avoiding Tim in school at all costs, which only made it harder for him to learn how to act around people. And his ego made him think that for whatever reason, he's a genius writer and a movie producer. Timbox would be very interested in films, but nor teachers or his classmates really cared, and they didn't take him seriously. That made him really wanna become a movie producer, as he wanted to prove that even though he's autistic, he can achieve big things regardless. Which is a great message, of course. I would be really glad if that was the case for Tim. However, it really wasn't. He created what he described as a cinematic masterpiece, and this is the script for the movie he wrote. The movie is about everything he likes: dinosaurs, Dexter's Lab, Lily, and Asian girls. Timbox was under impression that he wrote the next Interstellar, but it was a flop pretty much. In the movie, Dexter and Lily are on some weird Lord of the Rings quest. They have to go to Mordor or something. And on the way they fight Samurai Jack, Powerpuff Girls, and Avatar for whatever reason. They steal Lily from Dexter, and then Timbox travels from Timboxia, yeah, that's the real thing apparently, to save Lily. And Dark Lord Mondark, who's the main villain, then becomes transgender. And at the end, to celebrate, I guess, Timbox has intercourse with some Amy Jane. I tried to Google her, but I got no results, so I have no clue who this Amy Jane is. And this whole thing goes on for 8 hours. Now, to be able to make this movie, Timbox needed someone to fund it, and he requested a humble sum of almost $1 billion to make his fantastic ideas come true. I wish someone did fund this, cause now I really wanna know who this Amy Jane is. Just so you understand how absurd this sum is, Lord of the Rings trilogy costed 300 million USD to make, and Timothy over here is asking for almost 1 billion. We can find similarities here with 4Chan. Both Timbox and Chris have big ideas of making a project, but it's just a little bit delusional and nobody takes them seriously. However, Timbox trusted the idea so much that he spammed movie directors almost daily, asking them to help him with the movie. He also spammed Dan Goldwasser and Hans Zimmer, who are both pretty insane movie music producers. Hans Zimmer, in my opinion, best producer ever. He did bangers such as Lion King, Gladiator, Dune, and Interstellar. And Timbox insisted on them working together, so they would bring Dexter's Odyssey to life. He also thought Dexter's Odyssey trilogy would likely even be better than Lord of the Rings. Dan then posted a letter he got from Timbox on his social media. And in this letter, we can see that Timothy doesn't even consider a possibility that his movie, Dexter's Odyssey, maybe isn't the greatest movie ever. Timothy truly believes he was giving Dan Goldwasser a chance of his life. But Dan wasn't the only one who blocked Timothy. Essentially, everyone who worked on Dexter's Lab did so, including Chris Battle, who stands behind all of the Timothy's favorite cartoons. Timbox basically spammed everyone, telling them that Dexter's Odyssey is something they have to work on. But the reason why everyone blocked Timothy wasn't just him being annoying and delusional. The real reason was Timbox's online behavior. Remember that character I talked about earlier, Lily? Well, Timothy liked Lily a little too much.
I love you. I love you, Lily.
Aw, how cute!
Lily is the love of Timbox's life. She was a character in Dexter's Lab who appeared in only few episodes. But despite that, Lily means world to Timothy. It's a girl of his dreams. Here we can see Timothy and Lily hanging out in a dinosaur museum. And yeah, he photoshopped it himself. Here Lily is having a heartburn. This is also Tim's work, by the way. And here is Lily, well, yeah, I think you get it. Timothy sees Lily as a girl of the highest rank. She is pure, she is very feminine, and according to Timothy, she also has perfect body shape. Timothy even dreamed of having kids with her to create a perfect race, with a little girl from a cartoon. Timbox is attracted to little girls with Asian features and maybe not just the pixelated ones, as we saw in the recording where he was spying on Susan. He repeatedly talked about his ideas of adopting, playing, and hugging girl cartoon characters. Tim even made a whole tier list of kids he would adopt. And you might think he's joking or something. Well, okay, what's this then? Yeah, this is his drawing where Lily is twerking or something, I guess. Besides that, Tim is also attracted to penguins and Snake from Kung Fu Panda, which he admitted online multiple times. Maybe Tim doesn't fully understand that being attracted to kids isn't really okay. From what I've read online, some people with autism may show signs of PDF behavior because they themselves haven't fully developed yet, and so they may feel more like kids. And that could also explain why they might be attracted to kids. Now, I'm not a doctor nor a psychologist, so I might be wrong, but I think this should be taken into accountability. However, that doesn't make Timbox's behavior online okay. It maybe explains why he does it, but it doesn't give him a free pass to proudly talk about creating a perfect race with an underaged girl from a cartoon. After some time, pretty much everyone who is associated in the production of Dexter's Lab has blocked Timothy, including the illustrator of Timbox's favorite cartoons, Chris Battle, since he spammed everyone to work on Dexter's Odyssey with him. but the main reason was his online behavior. Timothy very passionately claims that filthy browner kids stole and destroyed his original ideas. And he also really liked to discuss topics of 9/11 and how it destroyed an American dream. Whatever that means, like I genuinely don't know what that means. Whatever Timbox does is with the end goal to promote Dexter's Odyssey, and for that everyone laughs at him and then he gets blocked or banned.
Yep, you are cancelled and banned.
The only place where he isn't banned yet is DeviantArt, Reddit and Twitter, where he actually posts till this day. And I guess he realized that obsessing over a little Asian cartoon girl isn't really healthy, so now his new waifu is this mouse girl from American Tail. Dear DeviantArt, I have to deactivate my Twitter/X account once again, and for the very I have no idea what it means. Time. And why so? Because those hell-raising internet trolls kept on descending on my Twitter/X account for the umpteenth time and attacked me over my obsession with an American Tale's feeble sister, Tanya Mauschkewitz, or the Feeble Goes West version of her, to be very specific. And don't you even dare call me the next 4Chan from now on, for I am not. I am an innocent, creative soul trying to find my place in the world and not the internet. I have actually done nothing wrong to warrant such online attacks on me. Is there still any justice for autistic people anymore? If the trolls get ahead of me, I would be good in hell instead of heaven. What am I going to do now? Just stay away from Twitter/X from now on? From Timbox 129. Alright, and just 2 posts before this, he was talking about sexualizing of girls in cartoons, and not necessarily of age. And he ended that post by saying, yeah, that's just my opinion, of course, you know. As the only way to fight hate and trolls, Tim chose to play the victim card. You know, that works all the time, obviously. Just so all of you on the internet will probably know by now, the online portrait of me, myself and I, as this unhappy, sad, lonely, struggling, troublemaking, socially awkward and very predatory lolcow of a man on the autism spectrum is actually wrong. Nothing personal, internet, but I actually am a young man on the autism spectrum who actually loved life. Sure, I have had some ups and some downs and even some rough patches within or even outside of the internet or something, but I still do love a very good time. Happy emoji. And so, the online internet portrait of me, Timothy Robert Mackenzie, whom some of you online will know as Timbox, as this sad, lonely, unhappy, struggling, socially awkward, troublemaking, and even very predatory lolcow of man with autism is totally wrong. And end of line. Literally every second or third post, Timbox cries about how internet isn't treating him fair. It feels like he truly doesn't understand the concept of trolling. When he found out that he's being talked about on 4chan, he started threatening them for whatever reason, thinking he's gonna stop them. However, that only added fuel to the fire and they trolled him even more. They especially like to address his racist crash outs, where he would openly say that he hates black people, but you know, he just said the N-word, which is exactly how he would call all the trolls on the 4chan too, by the way. I guess he must be a PewDiePie fan.
What a fucking...
Kinda based. And just like 4chan, Timbox cannot deal with any form of criticism. For example, when he was told that Powerpuff Girls aren't as cool as he says, he sent death threats with zero hesitation. He often talked about destroying all the trolls, and even when people are genuinely trying to help him out, he still talks to them like they're subhumans or something. I think by looking at his screenshot, you can see exactly what I mean. And of course, as you might guess, he got trolled even more because of the posts like this. Even people who genuinely support his creative ideas at first got some heat from Timbox as well. Man, you really gotta stop fantasizing over made-up characters like Lily. If you're going to continue this path, one day your imagination won't be enough, and at the end, you are going to do something that you will regret. Alright, that's a valid take. Let's see how Timbox reacts. Shut the f*** up and leave me alone, you dickhead, otherwise I will destroy you. After some time, Timbox would have his own page on Adramatica, which is a little Wikipedia for lolcows basically. Here you can read about his weird attraction to kids, perversion, and any of his internet activity basically. It was all there. Soon after his family found out about his site, they tried to take it down, but you know, what is once uploaded on the internet stays on there forever. And as time passed by, Timothy found new waifu, and this time she's of age. Thank God, Jesus Christ. This is her. It's Ashi from a cartoon called Samurai Jack. In the cartoon, Jack and Ashi fall in in love with each other. But Ashi betrays Jack, as turns out she's the daughter of Jack's enemy, and Timothy felt to be betrayed as well. Ashi is then killed, and that broke Tim completely. Timothy cries about her death every single day. He goes to DeviantArt and begs people to sign his petition to bring Ashi back, and so creators of the cartoon would resurrect Ashi. But people either didn't care or they just laughed at him. Timothy said that he respects the scriptwriter's decision to kill Ashi. However, deep inside of his soul, he wants to track him down, grape his wife and his daughters, and after he will kill him for Ashi's death. A death of a cartoon character made Tim stalk and send death threats to everyone involved in production of the Samurai Jack cartoon. He even apologized to the voice actor of Ashi for masturbating to her character. His obsession with the cartoon was so strong and powerful that production team had to address the situation and release a statement, as they were so tired from getting numerous petitions, messages and whatnot. But that just made Timothy more angry. And at the end of the day, he declared a goddamn war to the director of the cartoon, Tartakovsky. He threatened his family, his friends, colleagues. Well, yeah, all that just to look like a complete idiot. And all because of love to a character made from pixels. And I think the best way to end the story is to read how Timbox actually sees himself in this situation. Stop it, you assholes. I'm all right. I'm not an animal. I'm not a faggot. And I'm not even an acne-ridden pig idiot moron either. I'm just an autistic, intelligent and good young man. And so, I ask you kindly, would you please stop mocking me ever and stop calling me names that my family and I don't like. Ever, and like thousands expression marks. So somewhere in this video I asked you guys if you think it's okay to let some behavior slide when you're autistic. I think writing fan fictions about your favorite cartoon characters is fine to an extent. However, I feel like threatening to grape someone's wife and kids, sending death threats and stalking people because your pixel waifu died in a show, you know, isn't really cool. It's not okay. Also, publicly stating that you would go down on some 12-year-old girl from a cartoon, you know, that's some insane PDF behavior. And you can argue that it's just a cartoon, it's harmless. I feel like if a person has these thoughts at all, it doesn't really matter if it's cartoon or not. It's very disturbing. And I think that barrier between cartoon and reality is not that big actually. It's rather pretty small. So I would put Tim on a watch list or something. Sure, we can laugh at Timbox, but I think a lot of stuff he posts online is very disturbing. Autism or not, I don't think this should be tolerated. Anyway, if you made it this far, thank you for watching this video, and I want to thank a lot to all my Patreons. It's the reason why I'm able to make these videos at all, as it takes time, money, and you know, my mom is kind of homeless. So if you want to help me out, you know, link down description. It helps super a lot, trust. And if you're feeling kind of tired, you can use my link for MedMonk down description as well. 20% off for first 100 buyers. All right, that'll be it. Bye bye.